Hey guys, so here we are again for our weekly podcast. I'm Lady Angel Fire.
Hey, Boogie.
And Gilly Gunner.
And we are two dudes and a chick. Adequately named, of course. So just want to welcome everybody in. We have a couple of things here. I think it might be a little heavy today. So just want to give that precursor. But I'm just going to kick us off into it because I think we've got a lot of things to cover today. So I was telling the guys I wasn't going to tell them what I'm going to talk about because I want to get their live reactions.
Kind of worried.
Hey, BMO, we see you. We see you. Thank you for always being here.
I'm kind of scared a little bit.
Are shout outs set up there, Gilly?
Are they not?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've given a shout out to BMO because he's always here.
Yeah.
The Cookout fam always showing up. So here, okay, you boys ready?
Oh, yeah.
You gentlemen, young men.
I'm ready.
So I was talking with a family member Sunday, and he was telling me how like he's going through his third divorce, and how like he's really only had like 4 meaningful relationships in his life, and he's kind of nervous about trying again and shooting his shot again. And it kind of got me thinking, like, why are we so willing to limit the measure of our worth based on the intimate relationships that we have? You know, you question your ability to love or be loved based on just your intimate relationships that you've had. When you have friendships, you have parental relationships, you have siblings with, you have relationships with siblings, like, so we have all these different encompassing relationships around us but why are we limiting to just intimate relationships?
Oh, my gosh. This goes perfect with what I thought of for today.
I thought it would, but for me, like for women, like emotionally, we take the emotions from every relationship that we're in, friendships, relationships with our kids, like when kids stop talking to their moms, like it's like devastating to us. How is that on the guy's side though?
So, in my opinion, so okay, so this is where I think it all kind of starts kind of going downhill. So, a man and a woman, all right, so a mom and dad. A mom is supposed to teach you how to love, be compassionate, and stuff like that. And a dad or a man is supposed to teach you how to survive and overcome things like that. Uh, you know, my wife, her mama, well, not her mom, my wife's real mom passed away in a car wreck, in a wreck by a drunk driver when my wife was like 6 months old. But her stepmom was raised where her family wasn't real like loving. They don't ever tell nobody I love you and stuff like that. They're not real huggy and stuff, like just very, very plain people. And my wife growing up being raised like that kind of affected her in the long run to where she's not real like clingy. She doesn't really like to be hugged much. She don't like stuff like that. But like I was raised differently. I grew up. My mama used to tell me she loved me 100 times a day and give me hugs and kisses all the time. But my wife wasn't raised like that, and I feel like that kind of gets pushed down through generations too, like it did on Miss Julia's side. So I feel like that has a lot of said in what's going on in today's problem in relationships, because that just doesn't affect your parental relationship, but that also affects the relationships you're gonna get in when you get older. When you start getting married, having girlfriends or boyfriends and stuff like that. Because if you're not taught how to love and stuff like that, then most relationships won't work out.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I was not in a. I mean, I know my parents loved me.
Yeah.
And They showed that in different areas, but like the whole hugging, loving, like hugging, cuddling, kissing on you and stuff like that. That was more of like a grandparents thing. But like when it came to my parents, it wasn't necessarily like that because when they grew up, my grandparents weren't actually like that growing up when my parents were growing up because they grew up the same way I grew up. But when they got older, when you get older, you get softer sometimes. When you become a grandparent, I think it's kind of like a whole completely different thing.
Oh, it is a totally different thing. Like I love my granddaughter.
Yeah,
Like
so like the
yeah.
they were in the grandparent stage, but as a parent, they weren't as soft. They were, more focused on what they needed and stuff like that and showing them that they love them through, actions and other things other than the actions of cuddling, kissing, hugging, stuff like that. And it's
Do you feel like that affected like how you are in friendships
oh yeah,
and
definitely, because
in
when I was married, she would always say that I never wanted to cuddle enough and I always liked my space. Like I didn't. And then after a while, you start to warm up to it. You start to like it. And at the beginning you like it, and then at the end you kind of, you have your moments. But like for the most part, that's not the first thing I thought of when I'm with you. Like it's like, "Hey, let's go sit down and cuddle on the couch." It's like, "No, let's just hang out." Like, let's just because
Chill.
when we were growing up, we would all sit in front of the I'll never forget these moments. We would sit and watch TV every Sunday and watch Deadliest Catch on the TV after church. And we would just sit there and just watch. Nobody would cuddle, nothing like that. We would just watch TV. But it definitely does affect your relationships. It definitely does.
right. So like I was telling him, oh, let's see here. To go along with that, I feel the emotion for the different types of relationships need to be segregated. Too many times one relationship's emotions affect other relationships can cause issues.
Yeah.
We
I
need to get
understand
BMO
that.
on here as a guest.
Yeah, BMO would be a good guest.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
BMO has some crazy perspectives. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
And I love them. I
Yeah.
love
I
them.
like that. I like that, man. That's good.
Right, but what I'm saying to that end is we still use that as a measure of our worth to be loved or to love. Like, oh, we had this friendship not work out that great. I mean, just last week, I actually had to unfriend somebody that I was gaming with because it started to feel a little awkward. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not really feeling it, but like,
You characterized
how many?
with your so you separate. I think that's what he's talking about. I was trying to understand what he was saying, but now I think I get it. Like you separate your intimate with your friendship, with your family, with your all of that. But the thing at the same time, it's all related. How you treat your mother will be how you treat your wife one day. How your friendships are will relate to in your intimate relationship how you talk about things, how you solve your problems, how you get through issues, how you do all of that. And then your loyalty also comes into that because you're loyal to your friends, whether you like in a different way. But if your buddy calls you up, hey, I just need to talk. Like, I just need somebody to talk to right now. Hey, I need you to come pull me out of a ditch. I can't even tell you how many times. And even a freaking shows down in Key West. Hey, buddy, one of my boats they got unhooked from the dock. I need your help. Come to get it. Every single time. Like I've heard Hondo get calls while on the game saying, "Hey, I need help. Come and get me out of a ditch." I've heard Show multiple times like, "Hey, I need help. Come to get my boat out of the middle of the water. It's floating out into the ocean. I need somebody to help me come
Floating
get it."
away.
Like, but like they're always answering the phone, and that's the thing. If you were to, it's that's the loyalty part that comes into that. Um,
But
Sibling
what happens to your mind when that fails?
um, what do you mean exactly?
Like, let's say your for just for argument's sake, your friendship with Hondo
Yeah,
takes a turn.
if it takes a turn, then
How does that affect you? Like, do you start questioning your ability to be a good friend, or like,
it's
where does that come in?
I'm gonna pull out. It all depends, cause like, was it his side? Was it your side? How did it end? You know.
Well, it ended badly.
But like it all depends on the situation. Like what made the friendship end?
I'm see my that's one of the biggest problems I have. My wife talks about all the time, and so does my parents. I'm like a light switch in an instance. Like the way my mind is, I don't know why, but I can literally quit talking to anybody at the flip of like with the flip of a switch and not bother me. Like period. Like I didn't talk to mom and dad for 5 years, and that's like another thing. That's so it's weird. Like it never bothered me. Like I don't know. It's weird. I've just like when I've had people in my family pass away and stuff. I've never really been the one to like cry or weep about it. I've always just been like, it's part of life. You know,
That's my husband.
it is
That's
what it
how I
is.
Yeah.
used to be.
But like I said, like I don't know, like I've quit. I've had tons of friends over the years that I've just automatically quit talking to because I just wasn't feeling it. And I just quit cold turkey talking to them, and it's a weird though too. Like if you stop reaching out to people, you will clearly see who reaches back out to you. Like
Oh
you'll
yeah,
see that you'll notice if you're the
four
one
day
keeping
rule.
this. Yeah, you'll notice that this is if you're the one keeping this going or not. Because I've done it plenty of times, and and that's probably another reason why I am who I am. But if you don't message me first, or if I always have to message you, then this ain't it.
Give them the 4 or 5 day rule. If they don't message back, if they don't even attempt to, like, you can send people like me and you. We send stuff back and forth, but we know we talk. But like
Yeah.
we send stuff back and forth on Facebook all the time.
I'm
Me
bad on Messenger too, though. Cause there's so many people that message me, and like I'll be scrolling through videos, man. And I'll see them pause, and I'm like, I'll message them back in a second, and then all of a sudden I never
yeah.
forgot. It has been 3 days.
Yeah, and like me and Gray, we send back and forth TikToks all the time. But like we even like Snapchat and stuff like that too. We'll text on Snapchat and stuff like
Oh
that.
my God, I ain't talked to Gray in forever,
He's doing good. He's doing good.
dude.
He's just been chilling, man.
I miss my little ravioli.
He got a he got a new job.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
I hope everything's going great
So
for him.
so BMO says I personally don't measure worth of a relationship or emotion because at the end the emotion per relationships are different whether we like it or not.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
It's a good point.
That's a
Yeah, it
very
is.
good
And I
point.
think guys are way easier at or you're
What are you doing,
more
son?
you're more adept at compartmentalizing
Yes and no. It
where I am not.
well, I may be different. I don't know about Boogie and other guys, but like yes and no about carp. You know that word. I'm gonna butcher it trying to say it. I know what it is though. Um, like I can to an extent, but depending on what relationship it was and how serious it was, is when it ends up taking up everything else. Like, when me and my ex when we split, um, that was hard to compartmentalize. It kind of affected everything. But then now I've gotten to a point where it was meant to happen. There was a lot of bad things going between us. We were starting to go down a very unhealthy road, and there was no bringing it back. But since she's left, we have been better parents. We have been more focused on them more than ever. we have both been working on ourselves. I mean, clearly, I mean, we started a freaking podcast. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're getting somewhere with something. Well, at least I am, and I know she's starting like a new job and stuff like that. So like, we're both growing, and we started young,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of people do, and that's one of the bigger issues. We're not fully mature and ready for it, but you know,
Mm-hmm.
The I'm 24. I'll be 25 in August, and my wife just made 31 the other day. So, my wife's clearly like 6, 7 years older than me, and I feel like her mindset is a lot better, or a lot more mature than mine is at times.
yeah.
And
But it helps to have that maturity side already in the relationship.
yeah, it does.
So, Bimo says that his wife hates him for being able to compartmentalize. Um, See, me, I depend on my husband for that. Like, I'll go to my husband and be like, I am, I'm in my head too much about this, or I'm in my heart too much about this. Like, um, I need you to pull me out.
Yeah.
And, like, I depend on my husband to pull me out of that because, like, I know I get way too emotionally involved sometimes and I can't separate myself from situations that I need to separate myself from. And for some reason, my video looks like it's lagging really bad.
It looks good on my end.
I was about to say it
Wait,
looks fine.
yeah.
Okay. Um, and so I depend on my husband for that. Like, pull me out of the weeds on this because it's just too much. And I agree with you too, Bimo, about your love for your kids and your wife is different for each. Um,
Oh
I
yeah.
feel that. I definitely feel that. So, Gilly, when I said what I was going to talk about, what did that trigger for your side of what you were thinking to talk about?
So that kind of triggered what I wanted to talk about with the whole, I was watching American Idol, and I've been keeping up with American Idol big time. But
And
Mm-hmm.
y'all,
one.
yeah, Ian
Yeah.
Tongi, he won. My
Go.
boy won American Idol. Let me tell you, that man, anytime he freaking sings, he can put, and a lot of most of the top 10 artists, they were really good. They all had that emotion side to them. Sorry, this dog is like getting into everything right now, and usually he's just chill.
He's a
Um,
puppy.
yeah, no, like, all right, I think he's laying down. Anyway, no, so like, no, they all can really put really good emotion into the songs. Like, you can feel the song every single time you hear it. Like, I was watching Ian Tongi, and literally every time he started to sing, my arm would just line up with goosebumps every single time. It was great. But no, what I was gonna say is like, I think it was Keith Urban was one of their mentors, and he said something that really struck me a different way. So I should have grabbed the guitar. When the headstock of a guitar, when it breaks off and they glue it back on, that when they glue it back on, they can actually make it stronger than it was before it broke.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like I've got a lot of 1 year anniversaries coming up on a lot of different things here in the next week or two or week and a half. Um, got a lot of deaths in the family and that were really close to me, and I've got another big one for me. Um, but it's kind of funny that we were talking about relationships and we were talking about carpet. What's the word, guys?
Carpen. No, well, now you got me saying it wrong.
I ain't gonna try. You gonna have me stuttering over here.
So, organizing your emotions and, relationships and having good friendships and stuff like that. You know, if it wasn't for me breaking the headstock in my life and then gluing it back on, I wouldn't be where I am today at all. I
Mm-hmm.
honestly would probably be even darker and deeper into a hole that I wouldn't even know.
That's a really
Like,
good analogy too.
like I was going down a rabbit hole that I could not have come back out of. And, y'all know that. And to the people
Mm-hmm.
out there that do know me or has helped me, and I know some other people are going to be hearing this later. Especially, y'all two, meeting y'all two. If it wasn't for me breaking the headstock on my guitar and having to glue it back on and, gaming and streaming like that, I never would have even met y'all. And we never even would have
Mm-hmm.
had this amazing podcast that we're going to be getting somewhere with. And, it's just, I appreciate y'all. And I appreciate the people out there that have showed me the love and support on my streams. And also that were there through my really tough times around this time last year. Because if it wasn't for y'all, let's be honest, like, I wouldn't be on this earth today if it wasn't for that. Uh, June 3rd, I tried to commit suicide. And, there were some people that showed up in my life that I honestly didn't expect them to show up, but when they did, it made the world of difference. And because of them, I actually wanted to glue back my guitar and keep going. And I did. And look at where I'm at. I've got, a new job, got a puppy. I've got a whole new streaming setup. I've got a pretty awesome streaming channel. Um, I've got the most amazing friends, not only in person but online. Like y'all, are just awesome. But I just wanted to put that out there and kind of, say, don't give up. If you're in a dark hole or in a dark place or you're having a tough time, that's the whole reason why I made the men's support and the women's support channel on my Discord, is because I've been down that road. I know where it
Mm-hmm.
goes, and I don't want to see anybody else go down it. And if we, any of us, because I know a bunch of people that will be willing and able to be there to support you, or even just like one analogy I heard from this one guy, I just want to stand in the mud with you. Like I want to. I don't you don't have I don't have to explain anything. I don't have to give you advice on anything. Just let me stand in the mud with you. Let me not
Mm-hmm.
you not stand alone in the mud. But,
Right.
that's mainly what I'm here for, is, telling my story and showing somebody out there that, you know, it's worth it to not give up and to keep
Mm-hmm.
going and to get out of that rabbit hole, because, it may not look you like it right now, but I'm on the road to somewhere better. And you're going to see it from beginning to end. And I'm telling you right now, this is just the beginning. So be
Well, I'm
ready.
excited to be on that road with you, Gilly. Um,
You
you
know,
know, I'm on the opposite side of that. I've like the brother's keeper mentality.
put on some underwear. Sorry.
Yeah. I love watching people parent, the things that kids present to us sometimes. Um, I've always been like more of a brother's keeper. In the sense of I did not personally experience I've experienced depression and anxiety, but I didn't get as far as suicidal thoughts or whatnot. So I don't personally experience that, but I have experienced walking through it with somebody as their shelter in the
And that's
storm.
that's another thing. Like, back to American Idol. There was this one sister. She's a younger girl, and she's
Oh
a
my God.
artist as well. And she came up with a new song. She came up with her own song, and the song is based off of telling her older brother that she still needs him, and telling him not to, basically not to commit suicide. And she wrote this song for him and everything, and she sang it on American Idol, and it just hit me differently. because I was like, I was looking at it from my daughter's standpoint. Like if that were my daughter singing it to me. And I'm not gonna lie, I freaking lost it. Like bawling behind the TV. Like I'm glad it was just a dog here, but like still I was freaking
Right.
losing it. Like
Well, yeah, because it struck that.
it struck that nerve and that was it. I'm
Yeah.
trying.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say the name of the song. You go ahead and talk. Boogie. I'm trying to find it.
Oh, yeah, about last summer. Well, no, about a little over a year ago. Not this past October, but the October before. Um, I was in a pretty bad spot. Like I said, I thought about that point of, pushing through with that stuff, but I knew I couldn't just over the fact of, I felt like it would have been very, it would have been very selfish of me. I felt like to deprive my kids of having that father figure.
Yeah.
So I knew I couldn't do it. Now, like if I wouldn't have had any kids or wife or anything, then I probably would have. And like I'm one of those types of people that I kind of just live by day. Like if I was to like die tomorrow, I'd be fine with it. I'd be okay with it.
That's so funny
Uh,
that you said that because literally that is something else that I thought about last night when I was thinking about this podcast.
yeah. See, I'm very like that's just me. That like I feel like God always has a plan, and if His plan is for me to pass away tomorrow, then I'm totally okay with it because it's all part of it. Uh, but like I said, like back then, I was in a very bad spot. But the only reason why I knew I couldn't do it just because of the fact that I felt like it was gonna be very selfish of me.
Yeah. See,
'Cause
like my thing is when you're in a deep and dark place, your mind likes to trick you. And I was thinking, my kids would be better without me. You know, they the wife can just replace me with someone else and find someone better that can do a better job than me. Like those are the things that run through your head.
yeah, I mean, I think about that all the time too.
But like in reality, ain't nobody can replace you. Ain't nobody gonna be the big goofy daddy that you are right now.
Yeah, stuff like this helped me though. Helped me out of that. So, stuff like this is literally I got bags of different stuff sitting right
Oh
here.
yeah.
I mean, like all this different stuff, helped me. I mean, it's CBD, THC, or whatever, but that actually helped me a lot too, putting me in a better mind. Helps my
No,
mind out a lot more.
it can be a great mood stabilizer, but
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen it go
yeah,
the opposite direction though too.
yeah, yeah.
So make sure you're paying attention
Oh yeah,
when
like
you're
I said,
using things like
I'm
that.
definitely not in that mindset anymore because I'm always just I'm happy go lucky. I'm always smiling and happy and stuff. And I'm always doing stuff. So
Yeah.
Your G,
yep, I'm always in a good mood. That's
right? So being
my wife
Bima wanted
hates
to
me for
know
that.
what he missed. And so Gilly was talking about how when like the neck of or the head of a guitar breaks, they're able to glue it back together and make it stronger. And so he related that to like his dark time was him breaking the head of the guitar off his life, and now he's putting it back together stronger.
Yeah, because when you break the neck of a guitar and you glue it back together, somehow, I don't know how, but it makes it into a way that it's stronger than it was originally.
It's a
It's kind
very
of
good analogy.
crazy.
It really is.
That's like the best analogy I've ever heard, and the fact that it came from Keith Urban too. Like this is freaking awesome, dude. Like
I
Hey,
love
Keith
Keith.
Urban's amazing.
he's awesome.
All right, so did we want to talk about am I the asshole, or do you want to go into your thing, G?
Let's go
Yeah,
into yours. Yours is
yeah,
just
let's
always
break up.
just gets me excited.
Let's break up the seriousness a little bit.
Yeah, like yours is just ooh, I love getting into that. Makes me think.
Okay, so this am I the asshole for continuing to set off my car horn every time I see my neighbor taking a picture of my car? So this
Oh
whole thing is
man.
so dumb, but I'm thinking that maybe I'm being too petty or something, and I wanted to get other people's perspective on it. So
Uh,
I, 22 female, have a cute little VW that my grandfather gave me when I got my license at 20. I know that's a little late, but I had a fear of driving and just kept putting it off until I had no choice but to learn. To celebrate, Granddad bought me a 2002 Beetle from one of his friends and fixed it up for me. He runs an auto shop, so we were able to get it painted my favorite color, to which I'm really happy about. It's adorable in pink and I love it so much. I'll probably never sell it, even when it doesn't run anymore. No one has ever really had an issue with my car. The most I get is people telling me it's cute. However, my neighbor totally hates it. She came over about a week after I moved in with my roommates and told me that my car was an eyesore and messed with the curb appeal of the neighborhood. I said I was sorry she felt that way, but I didn't know what exactly she expected me to do about it. She asked that I park it in the garage, but I can't do that because it's a one-car garage, and between the 3 people that live in this house, 2 of us drive. The one that parks in the garage works from home, so it wouldn't make sense for me to take that spot, since they have to move their car out of the driveway every morning so I could go to work. I thought that was the end of it, but then she sent a complaint to the HOA, and when that didn't work, she started posting on the neighborhood app, making up reasons to get upset with the loud college kids across the way. That's
Oh
in
my
quotations,
gosh.
by the way. And lately, it's just been her coming outside to take pictures of my car after I park it in the driveway. Now, when I catch her doing it, I press the key fob on so the horn honks. The first few times it scared her, but now it just pisses her off enough to make her storm back in the house. I did it again today, and when I got home from work, I saw her, and she ended up leaving a note in our mailbox saying that I was being childish and disruptive, and she was going to report me for targeted harassment. Am I too worried about the last part? But my roommates think that I have made it worse by honking the horn, and that since she's not really bothering me by taking pictures, I'm being a little childish in my response.
Well, to get onto the legal side of things, the cops are gonna laugh at, dude, really? Come on. They're gonna laugh at the, targeted harassment thing. Like, they're gonna be like, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh man, it's just one of those things. Like at first, the story sounded like she was being petty, but then like the person not liking her car. I don't know. Like if you know that that person don't like your car, and they're out there taking pictures of it, that wouldn't like make me want to do something like that too. Like
Oh,
those
yeah.
people are being very petty. I don't think it's
100%.
them.
I picked this one because it sounds like what I would do.
I feel that I would have done the same thing.
I mean, I would even go as far as to start going to take pictures of when like her lawn isn't mowed, or like maybe her flowers are dying, or I would be so petty, and like I would start going to take pictures of her house, or like,
The,
oh, don't we think this house needs repainted, or
the
like,
moment they would have said that your car's an eyesore, I'd been like, bruh, your shirt's an eyesore. All right, quit going to Baby Gap. I'd have just started going in on it.
The first thing, if they would have told me that my car's an eyesore, I'd be like, you gonna pay for it to get it painted?
Yeah. Hey, them little beetle bugs are bad. Like my daddy had I want to say it was a '98 Volkswagen Beetle Bug, and I want to say it was a standard. I want to say it was a diesel too. It was a little nasty thing,
Oh
dude.
yeah, dude.
And dude, I love that car. Like my mom and dad would go out of town, they would just leave me and my brother at the house. We were like 14, 15 years old. And man, we didn't have a permit or anything. We used to just hop up in that car, bro, because a standard you can get in it. If you push it down the road, you can just pop the clutch and start it.
Yeah,
And let me tell you, we used to go take that thing all around the neighborhood and stuff growing up and go pick up girls and stuff in it, dude. It was awesome. I love that car.
that's awesome.
Put on some pants. Kind of weird. I got to tell my
no,
4-year-old to put on
no,
pants.
it's because it's a lazy day. I don't have to go to school. I don't want to wear pants.
He's running around nakeder than a jaybird. All right, he just came streaking through the kitchen, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, put on some
He's
underwear,
home.
son.
He's gonna be the one
He's
streaking on the
home. He's
football
Oh my
field.
god.
He's gonna be the Ray Stevens.
Right.
Don't look at the hole.
I gotta pick my 9-year-old up at. I gotta leave at around 11:50. Well, 12:50 y'all's time.
I was about to say yeah, that. I was trying to remember. I was like, Boogie, it's already been 11:50.
Oh, look at that cutie pie.
The mini Boogie.
He's bad. Yep. Now he's pulling the chair up
So-
next to me.
All right. So do we have any? Yeah, pull up a chair, buddy.
Right on next to me.
Hey, that's where they like to be. Do we have any funny shower thoughts? So liven the end of this thing up.
Not really.
Trying to remember what I thought about when I took a shower.
Look, go blow your nose, son. Yo, wash your hands or something. You.
See, that's the thing. Like the shower thoughts, they're in the like. I feel like I literally have to text my shower thoughts into the group chat. That way they don't disappear as soon as I step out of the shower.
That's what our group chat is for.
I mean, yeah, but like, I don't bring the phone into the shower with me. Like,
That's so crazy. What about you, BMO? You got any funny thoughts?
You talking about like thoughts in general?
Sure, we can go with that.
Thoughts in general, man. I was sitting around the other day and I was just thinking, like, you know, I was looking at, people think that one of the theories is that we came from apes, monkeys and stuff like that. And I started reading this thing or whatever, and I just always think about it that basically they have this mushroom. And what they're trying to say is that when these monkeys eat this mushroom, it gives them like these actual like I don't know like over time this mushroom gives them the ability to like speak and like understand stuff and things like that. And I start thinking like I'm seeing all these videos of monkeys eating mushrooms and doing what they're told.
and you know what's funny is I've been seeing videos on mushrooms lately.
I have too a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah, like the psychedelic and then the
Yeah, that's it.
non-psychedelic
The
and stuff
psychedelic
like
ones.
that.
Apparently,
Yeah,
when the monkeys eat them, it like somehow like they just start like over years of eating it, they just start forming into humans, and I'm just like
maybe they trip so hard that they're like figuring out, oh, hey, I can do this, and then over time they just start standing up straighter and start talking more normal. Like,
dude, they have so that this stuff what is it? It's not LSD. It's what's that other psychedelic one?
I know it's shrooms.
DMT.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
DMT. All right. So DMT. Everybody that does DMT experiences the same exact thing, and they meet the same beings and stuff. All right. They all experience it across the board. Everybody experienced going to the same place and everything. Now they had this one guy that he would do it so much that the being or whatever told him that if he comes back, that he would never like leave again. So it would be like he would be like stuck in this mindset, and the dude's never done DMT ever again. So like apparently he'd done DMT. It only lasts about 8 minutes, 8 to 15 minutes, and within those 8 to 15 minutes, this man lived a life. Like within this 8 to 10 minutes or whatever, it was like 3 months to him. He had wife, a kid. Or like 3 years. So he had like wife, kids. He had all these best friends and stuff. And when he came out of it, he was weeping and stuff and crying because of how he actually missed these people. But he said that like if
And
he
these
was to
people
go.
weren't real?
No, it was all like no, like so when you take DMT and go into it, this state of mind, everybody that does it experiences the same exact thing. They meet the same exact being. They see this whole realm and everything, and it's all the same. Like everybody across the board experiences the same place when they take it. So like it just I want to do it. I want to really do it. I want to like just sit back and try it just to see what happens because I'm very like I want to experience that too.
No, thank you.
We're gonna have to do it one time. I'm gonna have to just sit here on our podcast and just for about 8 minutes. It's gonna be me.
And then
Like-
you can tell us about the 3 months that
Yeah,
you're
yeah. I can tell you what
8 minutes.
happened.
No, thank you.
I met this woman named
Okay.
Sandra. Start
We are
going
not
into it.
promoting. We are not promoting the use of illegal drugs.
No, we are just
Actually,
conversating.
actually, it's
Boogie
not
is
illegal
not
to do DMT.
really.
Nope, it's not illegal to do DMT.
Well, I don't
How
know.
is it
Louisiana,
not?
It's not
Louisiana
like
might be different than Virginia. I think
they have
Virginia, any
like.
psychedelic is like a no go.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can see that.
BMO is saying PCP.
PCP. Okay, that might have been it then.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds
That
right.
sounds illegal as fuck. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that.
No, when it sounds like that, it does kind of sound illegal when I think about it.
Yeah, we are not promoting the use of drugs.
I mean, ain't going wrong. It sounds like a good time. Well, an extreme time.
Hey Siri,
You bet.
is PCP illegal?
Ask it DMT also.
Yeah, thank you, BMO. It is
Yes,
illegal,
PCP
100%.
is illegal.
Look up
Schedules two substance under the controlled
Is
substances
DMT
Act.
illegal?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well, glad it is
I am-
illegal.
I am 42 years old. I think I know
Wait, this is
what
very
is
cool. I love
illegal.
it. That's awesome. Anyway, carry on. Let's just go on and forget we even talked about it.
wait, hold on. This is kind of interesting.
It really is. Like, I'm reading into it. I'm like,
No, the history of it. So it was
Okay,
originally.
save that rabbit trail.
Oh yeah,
Gilly.
yeah.
we can get into that next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some more research. That's
Ah.
actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. My cousin
So
does it. I can get him
BMO's
on here.
So BMO's shower thought is stepping out of the shower and slipping and crushing his nuts.
That's a struggle trying to get out of the
Ooh.
shower.
He said you don't bring the phone in. What the hell?
I don't. Look,
No, I don't.
I don't have a phone case on my phone, so I'm scared I'm gonna have like that one moment where I drop the phone and it
Well,
just
like,
gets drenched.
The new iPhones are waterproof to like what is it, 6 foot? I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Mine's old, so I don't even remember if it's waterproof or not. But I can't take the chance.
Yours
I'm
is
poor.
not.
He said I can't take that chance.
I'm poor, guys. I can't take that chance.
Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. All right. Oh. Okay, again, we are not promoting illegal drugs. I have to put that.
Yeah, we're not promoting that, but like I said, I
gotta-
got a cousin that does it, and he says he does it in his car outside of his daddy's house. And he said he'll just go sit in his car and do it for like 8 minutes, and then he's just like zoned out for like 8 minutes. We can get him on here and he let him talk about it, see what he experienced.
Going
No,
It's
thank you.
research. It's research.
for research purposes
Uh-huh.
only.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Keep telling yourself that.
He cracks me up too when he talks about it. I'm just like, bruh, you know.
Well, me and Boogie could joke about it because Boogie's been sober and I've been sober going on a year. Was it next week or week after next? Something like
I've
that.
been sober for 9 years.
Hell
Boogie's
yeah,
been
y'all.
sober longer than me.
Yeah,
Well,
this October will make 2 years since I haven't drank anything.
yeah, so about a week and a half, it'll be a year.
And it's been over 2
Yeah.
months since I've had any Cokes.
See, I
I'm not.
like soda pop.
Coca-Cola,
drink.
yeah,
Cokes.
Coca-Cola.
I forget down here we call them Cokes. Up there y'all call them Pops. Yeah, I forget about that.
No, we don't call it pop. It's just we were talking about drugs, so that is you're saying
yeah,
Cokes.
BMO.
Hey, I just
It's been
threw
a
that
week
in
since
there.
I've snorted some Coke, you know.
Mimo cracks me
See,
up.
I had to stop drinking because alcohol didn't like me. Like
Oh, that.
it was making my migraines even worse. So that's why I had to quit drinking.
I quit drinking because like clear liquor makes me it makes me like to fight. And so I quit drinking because
Tequila.
Yeah, tequila, vodka, anything that's clear, I couldn't have. But like, but the weird thing is, I could have moonshine. I could have moonshine, and it wouldn't affect me. But anything else, I couldn't have. But I quit drinking over the fact of there is people, a lot of people in my family that are alcoholics or used to be, or that's passed away from like kidney failures and stuff like that from over drinking. And I feel like in order to stop something, you have to stop. In order to stop it from reoccurring every generation, you got to stop it somewhere. So I'm stopping it at me.
Yeah.
So from this point forward, I'm not drinking any more alcohol. I would rather have a clean mind, and stuff like that.
I
So
like it. I like it. All right, guys. Well, we are about to wrap up. I know G has to go pick up one of his kiddos, and
Well, he
sure
never talked
Billy's
about
got.
his conspiracy. If you wanted to talk about that real
I
quick.
got like 30 minutes still.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I got like
Oh,
25 minutes.
sweet. Let's talk about your thing then.
I ain't gotta leave till like 11:50.
All
Uh,
right. Well, let's do your thing.
oh my God, man, there's like two of them.
Are we going back to Benjamin Franklin, or are we talking about a new one?
that boy. Uh, so like I said, there was the whole conspiracy about, the Las Vegas shooting that I sent y'all. You know, that's kind of that kind of had my mind thinking a lot about, the cover up that it was, because in my opinion, when the facts came out about how many rounds were shot, and what it would take to shoot that many rounds off in that many minutes is insane. Um, I think that, like I said, we don't want to get into that one. We could just get back into the Illuminati stuff. Like I said, I did a lot of research on Illuminati, and the Illuminati was, Freemasons were once part of the same organization. They had the Knights of Templar, which is also their foot soldiers. They pretty much, you give them a command, they go out, execute whatever, needed to be done. Like I said, what you said before about how you was walking through the mall and you spotted something.
Yeah, so it's the downtown mall. So it's been there forever. Like it's it's been there since. There's one restaurant down there. It was established in like 1951. So like it's
Oh wow.
the downtown mall's been there for a hot minute.
The Illuminati, Okay, well, eat that, son. The Illuminati was formed, they say, in about the 18th century, in Germany, is where it was formed at. Um, when you start thinking into, like, when you see all these podcasters being silenced and all these major people around, influencers around the world being silenced when it's brought up about the Matrix and like people that run this world and our societies, it just gets you thinking, like, if people have enough power to silence and censor, like all the social media, like all the medias, like Facebook, Instagram, not Twitter anymore, but just big influencers, social media and stuff like that. When them people can silence you and take your words away and pretty much discredit anything you say, even though when it's real, or end up disappearing, all of a
Yeah,
sudden after certain things, that kind
I
of makes me wonder who's really running this world. Because the more and more I look at it today, my mindset is made that there is people above our presidents and stuff that is running this country.
he's just a puppet.
No, you can have some water.
That's like what is it? The basketball player that died in the helicopter crash.
Kobe.
Yeah, they talked about him and how a lot of times, a lot of people were starting to talk about, like there was nothing wrong with that helicopter, and it just randomly just, up and gone. Like
Well,
it's
well,
kind
that's
of
like
crazy.
9/11. They say that there's a conspiracy that the FBI and CIA and all that was part of 9/11. There's been a lot of people that came out posting videos of when 9/11 was happening, and you can see detonating charges and stuff going off in certain spots of the building on the bottom floor. And that was like before the impact.
Yeah,
So that kind of makes me question what was really going on with it. Like I said, now do I believe that people could have hijacked planes? Of course, it can happen easily. But the fact that there is evidence and people posting stuff that uh showing other things happening besides that.
it kind of
And
makes you question.
and another strange thing is they never found. I don't think they found any black box, whatever it's called. They never found the thing of actually what happened and this and that. So
Oh,
I
the
don't.
black box is
Oh
the box they get out of the plane, right?
Yeah, if
yeah,
I'm
it's
mistaken.
the recording.
And
Yeah.
another thing is, like steel melts at what was it, 1200 degrees or something like that. Steel melts at a
Something like
very,
that.
very high heat. And the heat that came off of the airplane blowing up was nowhere near that heat. Like jet fuel burning can't even melt steel. And
No.
yet this steel was melted.
2,750 degrees.
Yeah, so jet fuel burn. Look up jet fuel, how hot it gets when it burns. Because I was reading a lot and seeing a lot of videos and this and that saying that jet fuel couldn't even burn, cause beams to melt.
Let's see, jet fuel flashpoint. It's giving me it in 100 and 151 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay,
Ignition
so
temperature of 210 and 410.
yeah, that's nowhere near what it takes for iron steel to melt. So that
And
kind of
and even with that amount, like still, like that's a big building.
yeah, it's such a
Well,
huge building.
That was like one of the
well,
biggest
you have
buildings.
to remember how old it is, though.
Yeah, true. Well, like this is going off like the wreckage, like going off of steel and stuff. Like even old steel wouldn't melt at that rate. That's what kind of gets me, puzzles me. Like it gets my mind thinking like if it's just I don't know, it's insane. I mean, it even circles back to like the JFK assassinations, if I'm mistaken. They claim that there was two shooters. They claim that there was a whole other person
Yeah,
part
I
of
have
it.
heard that.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody caught them or anything. And they say that's why and another conspiracy is the FBI and the CIA did that. You
Yeah,
know?
because that was right around the time that JFK was going to be making a lot of pretty crazy changes. Like,
Yeah.
he had some pretty radical ideas for how to turn this country around.
Kind of
And
makes you think, like the Illuminati.
and look at like with
They
Hillary
didn't like
Clinton.
it.
Like
Yeah,
with Hillary Clinton and with all the emails and this and that, just about like every whistleblower that they had that was going to stand or whatever or go against her magically died.
So, just kind of like my thought was like, why is most conspiracy theories revolve around government?
Because I think governments will do anything in their power to keep us at bay, because they know. Okay, so our Declaration of Independence was created so that, like our Second Amendment, right to bear arms. That amendment
Mm-hmm.
was made and created so to protect us from foreign and domestic tyranny. So if our government was to overstep its boundaries, then we, the people, have the right to stand up and abolish and change that government for our better and our
Yeah.
well-being. And the government's that's why right now they're trying to ban our guns and stuff. The government is
Mm-hmm.
trying to take that away from us. Like, look, history. My biggest thing, one of my biggest things is history always repeats itself. Look what happened with Hitler. Hitler took away all the guns. He started out taking away guns and this and that and segregating
Yep.
everybody. And then the mass chaos happened. They started taking people's lives from them. And I feel and like that's kind of like what happened trying to happen here in my opinion. You take away people's guns and anything that they can protect themselves with, and then you have nothing but sheep. You know,
and
that's like in Canada.
something to break off from that. And I don't know if you've seen anything about the WalMarts here lately. Then
Oh
it's been
yeah,
going
the
on for
Oh,
FEMA,
yeah.
years.
the FEMA's.
Yeah, the FEMA's,
Yeah.
they're taking WalMarts and they're turning them into looks like camps.
Yep.
Kind of makes you wonder. WalMarts are in every big
City.
city, town, like even the small towns. They're close by. They're right there.
It's crazy too. Like when you start looking at like the higher ups, like look at what is it, Bill Gates or whatever. Do you know how much he owns more farmland in America than anybody does? And
Huh.
Really?
start looking into that conspiracy. Like there's so like he owns so much farmland out there that it's insane. And a lot of the farmland that like he's buying up and stuff and like and that like company that he owns, they have like lawsuits against them.
Huh.
Well, because like one conspiracy theory that my mom was like, oh my gosh, she was hooked on this conspiracy theory. Like, and I just kind of laughed at it because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. But was the entrails from the planes?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that was actually like a poison being distributed over. Um, like, and that was how they were like poisoning our foods.
Yeah. Well, I saw some videos about there being like black lines in the sky, and they would like, and like they would have like the planes and the jet trails or whatever going literally in the same path as a black line in the sky, like covering it. I've seen videos like that all over TikTok, so that's kind of weird though.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's so much going on in this world that involves our government or the FBI, CIA, and all the higher ups and stuff like that. I just feel like a lot of them are trying to keep stuff hush hush. But I mean, like I said, going
But
back to like,
is it even the FBI,
is
CIA,
it?
the government, or are they just puppets?
They're probably puppets, in my opinion. But I mean, that circles back to them like wanting to take our guns and stuff. Look at Canada. Canada, you're not allowed to own any guns, any,
Yeah.
none. But there's still people shooting up grocery stores and stuff with crossbows and running around stabbing people with knives. Like, evil people are going to find out ways to do things that they want, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
My brother and I were talking the other day, and I was like, if we really want to go after like the crime rate, like, and like coming up with solutions for that, like we have to do something to get to the heart of the issue, and literally the heart of the issue. Like, Cain killed Abel with a rock.
Yep.
David beat Goliath with a slingshot. Like, you don't have to, like, if you want to do harm, you'll find a way to do harm.
Exactly.
But what is driving you to want to do harm? Like, why aren't we paying attention? And this circles right back to Gilly's mental health topic.
Yep.
Like, why aren't we doing more to that balance? Like, why is so? I guess that would be a conspiracy theory that, like, I could actually agree with, that they don't want
Yeah.
the mental health to be healed. They want chaos. They
Yep.
want, but that's why we started our podcast. And that's why we and so many other people are talking about the mental health, is because we do want it healed. The people want it healed. But the powers that be, they don't want to see that healed, because then they don't have chaos.
But
They don't
if
really
everybody
want
talks
peace.
about it enough, then they'll realize, they've got to. People are more knowing of what's going on than what they realize.
We the people have more of a voice than, in our country than the government does. Like, all it takes is for everybody in our country to go to a bank, pull out all their money or whatever, and right there would cause all the banks collapse. Boom. Right then and there, collapse. If we all of us, or like if all of us did not quit showing up to work, all of us stopped showing up to work one day, just everybody put our foot down, stop going to work, pull all our money out of banks and this and that, the whole economy would literally collapse within minutes.
Oh
If
yeah.
everybody was to just stand up and do stuff like that, and our government, like, and if we did that, and then we literally was to, stop our government from doing the things that are going on today. Like I said, the Republican Democrat stuff, I don't believe in any of that shit. I want what's good for everybody. It ain't
Yeah.
about filling our pockets and this and that. It's supposed to be helping out. Look at all these other countries with free healthcare and stuff like that. They don't have to pay for healthcare. Homeless people got healthcare. Everybody got healthcare and this and that. And they're living the best lives ever. Like, why can't we have stuff like that in this country? And they're not all, Democrat, Republican, stuff like that over there. They're all for the people. They're for everyone.
Did you guys know that the Marine Corps, the Marine Corps was actually formed by the people? So it is the only branch in the military that can be disbanded by the people.
Oh.
And so, like, what if, like, we the people, like, recalled the Marine Corps back to our, like, wait, these are our soldiers. Like, we formed the Marine Corps. We
Oh,
called out
snap.
for the Marine Corps.
Well, it's like the National Guard. The National Guard in each state is controlled by the governor. The governor of the National Guard of each state listens to the governor. They don't listen to the president.
No, they do not.
When
And so, but a lot of people forget the history of the Marine Corps. Now, it was on my bucket list to be in the Marines, so I have a, like, deep love for the Marine Corps. But, like, if you think about the Marine Corps, like, They're the people's soldier. So why are we not like recalling the Marine Corps back to our side? Don't disband the Marine Corps, but it's time to bring them out
A lot of people in the
and
Marines
back.
that are stationed and done tours. I love it. It's that's what I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
do, but God had different plans for me.
Yeah, he had different plans for me too. Instead of being a Marine, I gave birth to a soldier. So,
Yes, ma'am.
um, like I don't know. That's just where my mind goes when I think about balancing the country.
Like I said, I just how thank you. Like how hard is it for everybody in this world to just get along, have love, compassion, take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's no go get a bottle of water out of the pantry. Yeah, I just everybody just needs to get
Man, you
along.
don't even give him cold water.
I drink.
I gotta give you a hard time.
I have two big ones.
Okay, well go get me one and I'll share it with you. So I drink like really big bottles of water, so like he's literally grab me one right now.
Uh,
But yeah, I just
oh, is that what he was calling a big boy?
hmm yeah, but yeah, I just wish everybody would get along, man, and just love each other and take care of each other, and we all just need to unite together across the country as one. If we all was to
Yeah.
do that, our country would be amazing. Big water.
The big water. What's that song? Big boy.
There you go, sir. Don't spill it.
Oh boy. All right, so let's end this with something funny. So I was looking up some like funny podcast questions, like something that could get us kind of livened up. Maybe we can start doing this at the beginning of our podcast. I don't know. We'll see how the people like it.
I'm with it.
So embarrassing experiences. What's the weirdest? Dang it! I don't want that one. We just talked about that. It was literally the first one was about conspiracy theories. I'm like, okay.
Boogie's like, okay.
Hey, I was all ears.
So, all right. So, what if you get an urge to scratch your butt in public? Would you do it?
Yeah. I mean, well, hold on. Let me refrain from that. So, if I'm at work, no. But if I'm anywhere else, yeah, probably.
Well, what do you mean by scratching butt? Like, am I like, digging my hand down in my ass, or like, am I
Well,
like
yeah,
scratching
like,
it
are we
on the
talking butt
outside?
cheek or are we
Yeah.
talking crack? Like,
Yeah.
where are we
What do
going
we-
with the hand? Where's the itch itching? If
I
it,
mean,
all right, let's break it down.
Am I scratching through my shorts? Am I scratching, bare skin on skin?
Well, the thing is like, I feel like it determines on where the scratch is. If the scratch is in the crack, then no, I'm going to the freaking bathroom. You don't want to see that. But if it's just the cheek, if it's the left or right cheek, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna itch that and just keep walking proud, like.
Yeah, I can see
all
that.
right.
Yeah, hey,
But like, if it's in the crack, I'd probably go to the bathroom because I'm probably itching, and yeah, no, I need to go to the bathroom.
that's when you're in a bind.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is the most embarrassing situation that you've been a part of? I think G's got a good one for this one.
Embarrassing.
Usually, I'm the one embarrassing everybody else, so I'm trying to think.
I mean, they're it's not PG, that's for sure.
I've been putting explicit on our Spotify page,
Okay,
so it's
cool.
okay.
Yeah. So I lost my virginity at 14. When I think I was 14 years old, 14 or 15. My mom and dad was out of town. I didn't know they were coming home, and I had a girl over. and we were in the room doing, and didn't even hear him pull up or anything, and my dad comes busting in the room, and like he didn't even know like she was even over there, and like that was very embarrassing for her, I guess. For me, I was just like,
Yeah.
my mom wasn't really happy about it. My dad high fived me at first, but then he bitched me out. Uh, my mom wasn't happy about it, but uh, I wasn't really. I mean, I was
Way
embarrassed.
to
Don't get me
go,
wrong.
son.
Yeah, I mean, I was embarrassed. Don't get me wrong, but she was really embarrassed. I mean, I don't
Oh
think she
my
spoke to me for
god.
like a month after that.
Oh, that's great.
That was kind of not supposed to happen.
Up down.
What about you, Gilly?
Uh, I could, let's just keep it to that. Let's stay on the same subject. So,
All right.
I had the first time I ever lost my virginity was with my wife, and we were at my grandparents' house, and I don't know, I wasn't living there yet. I hadn't graduated high school yet, and we were up there, doing the thing, and then I didn't hear somebody because it was upstairs. I didn't hear somebody coming up the stairs, and then my bedroom door just goes, "Whoosh," and it's my little brother, and he's just like deer in the headlights, like. And then she like falls off the bed and like rolls off the bed and then like lays beside the bed on the side, like on the other side. And then he just stares for a minute and then he just like grabs the door, closes it, and then just slowly walks away. I'm just like, that was kind of funny. And she's like over there freaking out, like losing her crap.
That's like me and Connor. Like, I was 16 and I was in my room, doing the business, and I looked over, or she looked over at the door, and Connor, which is like my little brother, he was actually standing like in the doorway, like peeking through the hole, and she looked at him and started freaking out, and she covered herself up, and I was just like, "Damn,
He
Connor,
was just
like,
in there
how long?"
watching.
Yeah, I was like, "How long you been there?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know." I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's great, you little pervert."
No, he just threw that door open and she just did a full on ninja move and just like rolled off the bed real quick. It looked like a freaking action movie when she rolled off the bed like she did. But like, and then he just like, it was funny. I'll never forget his face. He had like a deer in the headlights look and he just walked away. Like, didn't even say a word. He didn't even actually talk to me for the rest of the day. We went out to dinner and everything. And
There
he
you
just
go.
did not
I
say a
don't even.
word.
I don't think I have an embarrassing story in that category.
It's
See,
different for guys, I feel like.
I know you mentioned you at your grandmother's house, grandparents' house. Let me tell you, my grandmother, my nana, she passed away a month or two before River was born, sadly, which really hit me hard.
Yeah.
Um, so which she passed away of lung cancer. Let me tell you, that woman was the life of the party. I used to throw parties at her house, and she'd be outside walking around with with a glass of vodka in one hand and a joint in the other, and she'd be like walking around like partying with us, and I'm just like, Nana, for like 17 years old, and she'd out there just getting down, walking around. She'd be turning the radio up, just drinking, getting down. And I'm just like, dog, I was so embarrassed of that. Like she'd be out there like just hanging out with all my friends, and I'm just like, dude, this is so
Louisiana
weird.
boy.
And now it's one of your fondest memories.
Oh, it was, but it was so weird though. Like, it was so
You still
weird.
think it's weird to this day?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, cause I was like 17 years old. Like, I never like imagined my grandmother would be out there smoking a joint and walking around with a glass of vodka with a bunch of 17-year-old people, just getting down. But my grandmother like grew up in a time where like she wasn't smoking and drinking since she was like 13 years old. So it was like normal for her, I guess. But she was just out
Yeah.
there getting down with us, and I'm just like, Nana, it is 9 o'clock. You better go lay down and take your damn sleep medicine. And I'm just
Go
like,
take
is it
your
all right?
meds and go to bed.
I'm like, is it okay for you to be drinking that and being on the medicine she's on? And she'll just be like, because she's on oxygen too. And
Oh gosh.
and her mindset was like, if you take alcohol, oxygen, and and weed, and you can take a man to heaven and back. Like this woman was just like a partying machine, man. And even like to a couple months before she passed away or whatever, that woman was still, getting it. She quit smoking cigarettes, but she still smoked her other stuff, and she still got her she went out with a bang. I give her that.
Oh yeah.
She was so embarrassing.
Well,
Oh
go
my
Nana.
god, so
Go
embarrassing.
Nana.
Uh,
Um,
they talk about a girl over there. She'd always be like that too. Oh, you better be nice to my little baby boy. You better get your old ass back in that room.
all right, so let's wrap this up with what sport do you find silly and have trouble understanding why others enjoy them?
Soccer. I would definitely have to say soccer. Because why
Oh.
does soccer last so freaking long? Like kid soccer, that's good. But like professional soccer, the game lasts what, like longer than 2 hours, I think,
Regular
if I
sport.
remember correctly. I think if I want to say it was like 3-4 hours I was sitting there watching a hockey game. I mean, not a hockey game, a soccer game. But I could be wrong. Or maybe it was just so freaking boring it felt like 4 hours. I can't remember.
I think it's that one that you're on the horses riding around and you're hitting the little balls through the hoop thing.
Polo. That's polo.
Polo, that's what I think it is. I think polo's kind of that or badminton. I don't see the point in badminton. We already have tennis and ping pong. Yeah, like we already got. I mean, we already got so many sports that include swinging and hitting something like badminton. Like, kind of weird.
That's like the only cool thing about freaking soccer is when somebody gets hurt. It's like NASCAR. The only time it's ever good is when there's a wreck. Like that's the only time it ever gets interesting, you
See,
know?
like my favorite three sports are football, baseball, and MMA. That is my favorite sports.
I could sit there and watch a
Yeah.
football and a baseball game. And
I got football, baseball, and NASCAR.
NASCAR.
if I had to
I,
come up with a third, it'd have to be either basketball when a good team is playing,
I'm getting
or
that.
I don't know,
Oh,
hockey. Hockey, I've been taking
I
an
love
interest
hockey.
in.
I like hockey.
Like
We,
the
we finally got
fight.
a hockey team in Baton Rouge. It's so exciting.
Well, I don't know if she's watching, but Steph's boyfriend, he plays hockey
Oh
in
wow!
Canada. Yeah, he's pretty good too.
And he'll come down here and join the Baton Rouge people.
Right?
Bring us some real talent.
Right?
Yeah, we actually got a hockey team down here, man. It's actually pretty nice. We went and saw a game when they were bringing it back, and man, there were so many fights. There's a fight every 30 seconds. There were people fighting out there, and I was just all for it, screaming.
Right?
Every time somebody would look at somebody fun, I'd be hollering, don't take that shit, punch him in his neck.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Well, I think that's gonna wrap us up, guys.
I do like those
As
questions.
always, we think.
I do like them questions you came up with, the podcast questions or whatever. I love that. That's
Yeah,
so
I do
good.
too.
Like I love answering questions like that.
Yeah, I've got a whole list.
Hell yeah! Like I look forward to that next week. Like
Yeah, me too.
I can just think
I
about
have
so
a
many
whole
different things.
list.
I love that.
So, that is going to wrap us up. We thank you guys for being here. We'll be here next week. And we do have our Discord. Just look in the About section below this video that you guys are watching, and it will be there. And yeah, we'll be here next week. And if you join the Discord, you'll know if we're doing Tuesday or Wednesday, just based on our 9 to 5s. So thank you for being here, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank y'all.